Good morning. Back here at Doing It Scared. I hope y'all had a good week. I do have a fun little project that we're going to do today. I'm already thinking about Christmas, which you might be able to tell from everything I have hanging on my wall in the back. Those are just all different parties that I've had. So Christmas, again, is not that far away. It feels like, it's July, so it's still a ways away, but we start thinking as far as what we might want and what I might want to offer to you guys for those at-home kits. So what I started doing is I started making some trays for Santa. So the trays that you leave your treats out, I'm going to show you a couple examples. And then I'm going to show you one that I did that I hated, and that's the one I'm redoing today. So this one turned out a lot cuter than I expected here. This says Santa's Treats. You've got a little gnome there with some hats. Now up here where you see the break, that is where I am going to use my Posco pen, and I'm going to write cookies, milk, carrots for. So all of these that I've done, I haven't entered that in there yet. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to provide it on a tracer or if I'm going to let you guys go ahead and handwrite so it reflects your style. Or if you're having your children do this with you, you might want them to write it in because it would look really cute. So this is one. This is my gnome scene, and then I have what I call kind of farmhouse-y, and this is the other one. This is just a simple black with some vineries on it, and both of these are not sealed yet, but I will definitely be sealing each of these with some Mod Podge when we're done. So let's move on. I'm going to show you the hot mess that I made, and I have already started prep on it, so you guys didn't want to watch paint dry. It's not very fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at today's project. Let me see. I need to get it centered. I'm waiting for my video to come up. Okay. All right. I think that is good. I don't know why it's not showing. I probably should have had my camera turned, but anyway, you can see this. I want you to understand, again, this is one I had done, and I really, really didn't like the way it came out. So I went ahead and I put some gesso on it, and then I put a coat of red. So I'm going to see if maybe, yeah, you can't see through the paint there, but there is a pattern. I did the whole thing and I didn't like it. Notice that we do have these lines that are very, smudged. So it was another mistake I made. Remember, we make mistakes and it's okay. We can always usually find a way to fix them. But I used my Posco pen instead of a Sharpie, which I usually use a little Sharpie, but I used instead the Posco pen. And of course, the Posco pen is actually paint when you use it. So it does, it can smear if it's still a little wet. And that's what happened. It was still a little wet and I put my red paint on it, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. So today the colors I think I'm going to be working in, we're going to start with the true red. That's what this base coat is, right? Okay. And then we are going to use what I call, this is a folk art brand. This is Wild Wasabi. It's a nice kind of lighter green without, I like a really citrus green too. I think it looks really cute, but with this one I wanted a little bit more mutation going on, like a muted color palette. And then at this time, I am just looking at black and white as well. Okay, so we will see as we're working if I'm going to add any other colors. Sometimes when I'm working, I notice that we might need another just something to pop it up, right? Something to, and you will also see, I forgot to mention here, I did add in a snowman, and then this is all gonna be snow, and these are gonna be Christmas trees. So that's what I've got traced out. I'm gonna start first down at the bottom with the white. And the reason that is because there is red underneath. I know that I'm gonna end up having to do at least probably 2 coats of the white so that it will work. And let's see. All right, let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna start with that. Brushes today are pretty much the same that we used last week. So we have a round brush, a medium round brush. We have a 1-inch cover brush. We have a super thin liner brush, and then I have a medium liner brush. So those are the 4 brushes we're going to be working with. If I feel like there's another need, I might bring in some of the dotting tools like we used last week. It just depends. I can't ever, sometimes I have to decide as I go. So anyway, so we're gonna start with the white. I'm gonna pull these off, and because I want to see the lip back here as well, here, I'm going to go ahead and turn it around and go ahead and paint. I'm trying, I wish I could get more of this in there, but we'll show you the finished product when we're done. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm just gonna follow this guide that I made. And again, this is just the round brush with white paint. I am gonna kind of go around like this with the snowman, because even though the snowman is gonna be white, I am not quite ready to fill that in yet. And look, you can see I'm getting some up there. That is okay, I'm all right with that. If I wanted to make sure I didn't get that in, I would just go ahead and use a little washi tape to tape off the side. But again, I'm not really super concerned about that. But again, I want this white to pop. So, and it's gonna take more than 1 coat to get what we like. So we're gonna go ahead, and I've got that first coat on. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And as usual, I'm gonna wipe my brush off, okay? And then I'm gonna stick it in the water. I'm going to move now to the 1-inch brush. So I am just gonna go ahead and do another coat of red everywhere. So sides, you can tell I already did underneath. And this, again, you don't have to do the underneath of the tray. I love this color. Obviously, I didn't do the edges. I was just filling in. So when I do this as a class, I have them do the underneath first because it's going to take a while to dry. And then we move to the front for that. So I'm going to move this around. I've got my true red. And I'm going to go ahead and start getting all of this started. It's going to take a lot of red, and I'm hoping I have enough here. I should. If not, I will make another design choice because I don't want to get up and leave in the middle of a project with y'all. So I'm going to start with the outside edge. Let's see if you can see that. I had to move the camera a minute. So I'm going to quickly just do a coat over all of the outside edges. And I'll go ahead. And this, it gets tricky because one side then is going to be faced towards me, and I don't want to get paint on me. So you can see that there are some spots that I've missed in here, and that's okay. Like, again, I just did a really rough 1 coat. Again, I'm not being super particular at this time. I will go back and touch up if it needs it, but I just need to get another coat on this red because it's just a little bit too transparent for what we're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to set the tray down now and do the other end, or no, I'm not. I'm going to do this end for you. Let's just go ahead and set it down here. Okay. And we'll go ahead and I'm doing the side. I could have gone ahead and done this second coat so that we would be starting from the design from the beginning of the process. But I decided that, well, first of all, quite honestly, I thought you might enjoy seeing where I messed up and how I'm working at correcting it, because not everything we do, we end up loving. And when you end up doing something and you hate it, you don't want to just pitch the whole project, right? Because then it's just so discouraging. But we can go ahead and add some, redo it, so to speak. Okay, so I have all of the outside edges done. I'm going to make sure I got these top edges. And you can see here, I missed some there. It's okay. Okay, now I'm going to start on the inside, and then I'll do the walls last. In fact, the wall sides may not get done on this video. We will see how far we get. But that's something I can easily touch up once all of this is dry, using some washing tape to block the rest of the others. So just going to go ahead and put in one more coat. Notice you're not losing the lines from the Posco pen. And yes, they're blurry, but again, like I said, we will find a way to assimilate that and make that work. So I'm just going over the whole thing. We're going to do the inside, then I'm going to do the side walls. I thought I would do it after, but I need the paint to dry in here before moving on. So typically when you do the outside of the tray, by the time you're ready to do the inside, the outside will start drying, so it isn't usually a real big problem whatsoever. So I'm going to be a little bit careful. Need some more paint around the white that I just put in. Okay. And if I put a second coat of red when I'm not paying attention, it's not going to hurt anything. Again, this is just our base coats. Notice with these trees lines that I have that I'm going over now, they're not getting fuzzy because I put those lines in about 2 hours ago. And they were completely dry. So you may see that I went ahead and covered up my snowman again. I could have left that blank, but I want the snowman to reflect the same tones that we're gonna get down here in the snow that we put in. So when I put these kits together, what you see underneath, that's blurry, but won't be blurry when you have it. I pre-trace the shapes in there. So unless you want to design your own, with your own style, but pretty much it's going to come pre-traced with whatever of the 3 designs I just showed you. Of course, I just did that. Let's go ahead and do it a little bit here. The edges. Again, we want everything to dry. It's probably going to take a good 5 to 10 minutes. But we already did the outside. So that means if we need to, we can work on the outside. I'm also going to do some of this detail work here in a minute in these handles, because we do want that to be smooth as well. Over here, I want to show you, notice here in the corner, I do have some of that white on there. So I'm kind of just going to work around this for now. And maybe just put a spot there. We're going to leave it like that, because otherwise it's going to get streaky. Oh, you can't see it. So let's see. Otherwise, I think you can see it now. It will get streaky in there. So we're being kind around that. So moving over to, I know this whole thing, the wine bottles fit really well into the camera frame last week, but this is not working as well. Of course, I'm still getting used to camera setup because this is so outside my comfort zone, y'all. I love to teach and plan and stuff, but this whole video, oh, it's nerve-wracking. I'm also trying to get my website built, and it's, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to have some outside help, and that's okay too. Well, first, I will probably see if my husband can do. He understands processes and can, in building on technology much better than I do. Okay. Again, getting into these handles. Yeah, I still can't see it. There we go. So this is all I'm doing through here. And of course, later, when I check the final piece, I can turn it upside down, make sure I got up here well. So pretty well off. So that is our base of red. Oh, I see I did not cover here with some more red because the line looked too good. Okay, look at already full of paint. Like I said, I'm a messy painter. Always have been. So I'm not gonna need this brush for a while, so I am going to go ahead and get off the excess paint and put this in the water to dry. What next? Okay, so what I'm going to be working on next is going to be the white. Again, we're going to pull my brush back out. We're going to do another layer of white here. And yes, this is a crazy brush. It has been very well used. So it doesn't have that beautiful round tip that I use when I need precise lines. I have made this, I call it a smooshy brush because it's all kind of, you know, bleh, and I can smush. And look, I picked up a little bit of red on that brush, so there's going to be a little red streak through there, but that's okay. And I got some more red in there. I'm not super concerned about it. I'm going to let it dry because I'll probably maybe add another white coat. Now, what am I going to be working on next? Well, I could start with my lettering up there or my circles. So I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to start to work on the lettering because I am going to be using black and we'll do some white highlights, and I'll have to turn this around, try to get the For Santa part where y'all can see really well. Just pull it. It should I want it closer to me. I don't want to have to reach so far, and so I'm going to work on these upside down. And now I see a bunch of other places I'm going to have to touch up. Again, that's quite all right. And I'm going to start working then on the letters. I'm going to start with the Santa and then go up there. You can see them pre-drawn. I'm going to use my super fine liner brush with black. Now, here's the thing. I am going to paint these in, but then I can use my Posco marker to clean up any edges. Or you can use the Posco marker first. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's do that first. I did that with the other one and it worked better. Feels pretty dry. So basically a Posco marker is a marker that uses acrylic paint. So I have these in white and black. You can get them in several different colors. There is some wet paint here, and I'm going to get myself more paint because I'm using it to brace my hand. Now last week, you may have noticed, my hands do tend to shake. So I try not to worry about being a perfectionist sometimes with these lines. So I just filled that in. Now I will go back after I letter everything, and I'm going to fill it in with black. I don't like to fill in with the Posco, and there you can see it. And I can tell you, you can see that there's a tiny little bit there, and when this dries, then I have to cover it up. It's just, I get better coverage with the actual paint. So let's go ahead. Oh, and I just made a mistake there. Good for y'all. See, I can clean that up though. See, it's going over next to the N. Well, actually the N has a space there, and it's technically connected, but we will play with that. One thing that y'all will notice is nothing I do is perfect, and I do not have that perfectionist gene. I do this because I enjoy it, but my creativity has to be quick because I don't want to spend hours and hours on one thing. Just not going to happen. You can see some of that left in there. I'm going to just fill that in with the paint when we get there. And sometimes too, you have to watch what you're doing because the I don't even know what I was going to say. I forgot already. So yes, that's me. I forget and lose track of my place. So, and I really didn't want that, but we can again fix that. So see, I made those bars really fat. Later, I'll go in and touch up with some red and fix it in. So it's not looking perfect by any means. I do use the stencil to trace the letters. I do not have a circuit, but that is something I could look forward to possibly in the future, and I might consider, my sister has one, of just kind of, if I'm doing something like this, just printing them out to be vinyl decals, and then I can just, you know, go ahead and glue them on versus paint them in. However, I will admit I do enjoy the process of painting, so it, as I think I've mentioned to y'all before, for me, it's just a really relaxing process. Yeah, see, I don't like that either, but I am doing it upside down, but I'll get it. I did better on the other ones. I will be honest though, lettering takes a lot of fine tuning for me. And some days, man, I can just kill it. And then other days, well, it starts to look like this. You're like, wow, I didn't know it would take that long to trace something that was already there, but okay. So, not perfect, right? No problem. I'm going to go back again. We're picking up the small brush. Now I'm going to go back and fill in with the black paint. And some things I'll be able to fix right with the brush. Like this is a little wonky, but I went ahead and just covered it up. And so I'm just going to follow. I'm not worried about staying necessarily perfect to what I drew in there, but I'm filling in, and then I go over the edges a little bit just to make sure the blacks are creating one unified letter and that they're not, you know, you can see where this is not painted. We want it to be consistent. The texture will look different if you don't cover it with black paint. But I mean, again, just made a mistake again. My hands are shaky. Y'all, you're seeing it really today. Getting better. Again, like I said, there's going to be a lot of touch-up that's going to go on because lettering is not fun. So you can see there on my A that this is really thick. I will go back later with some red and I'll make that a little less obvious. Let's see, what time are we at? Oh, I don't have my clock on. So let's see, it is, where's my time? Okay, can't find my time. I don't have it. My phone's there. We're gonna just keep working. I need to put a clock in here. I used to have 6 different clocks on the wall, all for the different time zones that Royal Caribbean had call centers, because I was a call center trainer. More so a sales trainer, because even though we were teaching them the processes, we were actually teaching them how to sell a wonderful product. So it was more than just push this button and add this number. I really enjoyed that job. Okay, as you can tell, this is going to take some time. This is going to be the most time-consuming of the whole thing, because the rest will go pretty quickly, and then we'll decide like if we need any more design or detail. Like I said, we're gonna put some, you can see we got some Christmas trees we're gonna put down there. Gonna fill in our snowman. I keep smacking my lips, I'm so sorry, I just realized that. Someday I'll have to learn how to edit these so that I can make it a little bit go faster in the areas that you guys don't need to just watch. Oh, by the way, yesterday I did upload last week's Doing It Scared paint. We painted wine bottles. I did upload that video into YouTube, so I have my first YouTube video up. If you want to take a look, I'm going to be posting these do it scared there. So anybody that, you know, you can't necessarily make it at 11 o'clock in the morning, right? We all have lives and work, but that way you can view it anytime. And, you know, go use these ideas and go make your own creation. Hopefully it inspires. This one, like I said, this came up. I don't have any grandchildren yet, but I thought, you know what, this would be so much fun to have and bring out every year, something that was made by me. And then each year, what I'm thinking of, the one that I'm going to keep for here at Grandma's house, on the sides, not on the inside, but necessarily like the outside areas here, as grandchildren are born, I'm thinking I'm going to add their names. So if they're ever at my place visiting us for the holidays, they will have a memory of a very special treat tray that I made just for them, and Santa, of course. Now, if my children weren't grown, what I would probably be doing is I'd be involving them in this. So either, depending on their age, letting them paint, letting them choose colors. You could do just this and not put any of the other and have everybody, you know, add a handprint. You could, there's a lot of different things that you could actually explore. To make it unique for your family. I really, really do not like doing lettering. It is not my fun thought. I made a door hanger last week for my mother-in-law to put in her new place. Got it all done, and I got done with it with her name on it, and totally didn't like the way the name looks. So today brought it in, put on some gesso, and I'm going to work on that later to get it to where I like it. Okay, almost there. You can start to see as the paint dries, it's looking somewhat flat, and that's okay. Like I said, we're going to finish everything with a coat of Mod Podge to seal everything in. I won't get to that point here, but it's really easy. You just brush it on. So that's not something that I think you're going to need specific direction for. All right. I got my letters, and I really want to turn this around because I don't like looking upside down. Okay. So taking a look at the letters, now that they're upside right, you can tell that they're not perfect. And if I need to, I can go in with the Posco pen, or I can use the brush to fix it up. I'm kind of liking how it's not perfect. So I think I'm gonna leave it, and then you'll see I'll add some more detail and some highlights to it, and that will help it pop. Another idea is some people, once they fill it in, they outline the whole thing with another color, whatnot. So, okay, so this is the thin brush. We're done with this for now. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off and put in there. And I am gonna start working on my snowman and my Christmas trees now that we've had. Oh yeah, I like that green. Look at this green, y'all. Look at how pretty that's going to be on the wasabi, wild wasabi by Folk Art. Okay, so I'm going to be using my fatter liner brush, which is this one, and my round brush. Okay, so I'm going to start by wiping off my round brush because we're going to do all the big stuff first. Okay, and in fact, I think I'm just going to use the round brush for the white right now so that I don't have to worry about mixing colors. I am going to fill in my wonderful snowman. And I'm just going through making the circles. And yes, they're overlapping, but that's okay because you've got to stack this snowman, right? It's got to be just right. I like the way it's looking on the red. All right, so let's get this bold in. Now, it's going to need another coat because of the red underneath it. So I'm just going to let this do its thing and dry. And move on to this thicker brush, and I'm going to go start with these trees. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing I did not bring my white up high enough. Here, I wanted it to go like that. And yes, you can see it's kind of getting rid of that differentiation between the snowman, but again, we're going to be back in there fixing things up. Okay, so now I got my green. I'm going to follow my lines that I've already put on and traced. And I don't want these to necessarily look like, you know, perfect trees. So I'm just going to fill them in as like triangles. And again, I'm probably going to need to do a second coat because we have this bright red underneath it. Even if I hadn't put any paint on this, the underneath would be a pine, and if you'll still get this look. It won't be as strong, but I find that when I'm working on wood, I do want to put two coats on, unless the color is a super, super dark color that doesn't have any transparency, but see, easy peasy. You can see I left, there's still some black you can see through. I'm just going to go ahead over here and make my line a little bit wider at the bottom to encompass that. Again, they're just triangles, so I'm not losing any shape. Go ahead and do this one. Now, I could make this whole row there of trees. I think it would look cute. We could do some different color trees to add some variation. I don't think I'm going to do that. I might later, but I think right now I'm liking the simplicity that I have. We'll see if by the time I get done, if I still like all the design choices that I made, or if this is going to be another cover and redo. So if you're interested in any of the project plans that I'm doing, just shoot me an email or a direct message. If you would like to be added to my mailing list, where I'm sending my calendar out each month, coupons, that's the way I get coupons to all my followers. So if you go into my website, which is passport-creative.com, all lowercase, then there you will get a pop-up, and when you give your email address and put it on, add it to the list, it will give you a $5 coupon. You can use on pretty much anything in the store. There's not a lot in there. I don't do a lot of product sales. I do more event sales, but it's going to continue to grow. So there will be more. So if you don't want to miss out, like when I have these kits ready, all put together for you to purchase, if you want to make sure you don't miss that, then go ahead and get mailing list. And this side's already got a good dry factor, so I'm going to go ahead and do another coat. I forgot to turn on any music today. I should have put some Christmas music up, so sorry you're having to just listen to me. Okay, we have 20 minutes. Okay, finally found my clock. So yeah, we are not gonna get this whole thing done today, but we're gonna get it all blocked. And then of course you'll see everything else will be filling in. Trees. All right, now I can make these just a big circle. I think I'm going to do them, I'm going to fill them in with the green. So let me get my brush out again that I've been using for the white, because I want to go ahead and do my last bit of the whites. And again, I'm doing little circles here. I kind of like the texture that I get. It kind of feels like you just rolled up this big ball of snow. And I just got some green in there. It's okay. Now, if you're really detailed and you're really good at, you could add some little squirrels or penguins or something here. Oops, that was wrong. But you don't have to. This is whatever you want it to be. All right, I'm gonna wipe my brush off. And as I said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my circles with the green. I think I'll really like that contrast and continue with the palette. So I've got my green, I'm just gonna follow around. Notice you're not gonna see that smudginess of my original line. There's a little bit there, but it just goes to the, just adds that texture. Almost done. Yes, I'm liking this. Let's see. I have to get a better way that I can watch what I'm doing to make sure that I'm getting it in the camera while I'm filming when I'm not actually in the screen. Okay, do this last one. So this big circle here, this is for cookies. Gotta have a big circle because, you know, I just made another mess there. It's okay, we can clean that up. All right. So we have that all set for that right now. Again, gosh, this paint is drying really fast. So I'm gonna go and just fill in. You can see how I smushed there. It's okay, it will just make it look more like a tree. I'm just doing some smushy so it's not perfect. Because I just realized if I don't, it's gonna look like I'm trying to make it look perfect, and that I can't have, because I will get so caught up in trying to make it perfect, I will lose my design altogether. And again, just got some green there. Again, a lot of this we'll clean up after we get the specific design down. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm so impatient, y'all. I don't want to wait for that to dry. And if my circles get out of whack, like in other words, I just made that one a little bit bigger, I'm okay with that. Good thing, start at the outside edge and circle inward, and that will keep you from making it grow. And again, my circles don't have to be perfect. So like these parts right here, if you want to do this, it's really, really easy for your kids to do. And I think if it's not perfect, it just adds to it. So, all right, got that going. So we're going to let that start to dry. And put this back in the water, and I'm going to get a little bit more white because I'm going to start doing my snowman. Oh, I need just a tiny bit of orange because I'm going to do a carrot nose. So, as you can see, I need to do my snowman. I first want to add the black top hat. So, I'm going to do that with this brush. I'm going to add the brim first. And then I'm going to, I made that a small hat. I'm going to make it bigger. What would also be cute, you could do a whole row of snowmen down. You could make this scene a little more pronounced. I am not going to, again, like I said, I want to keep it simple. And I am going to just line this in, but I'm going to leave, no, I'm not, I'm going to just fill it in. I was going to try to leave a red band on the hat, but I don't think I want to do that. So now I'm going to pick up my other liner brush because I don't want to keep cleaning that one. I'm going to clean up the edges here. Because the next step's going to be adding our buttons and such. Okay, I feel like that's good. So I'm going to start again with this little liner. I'm going to put my nose in there. Just this little go. Perfecto. And now I'm going to add my eyes and buttons. So the coal. And I'm making it so it's not a perfect round thing, because if you are picking up chunks of coal for your snowman, it is not going to necessarily give you a round shape. So do the buttons. I'm gonna do smiley face, and I am gonna add some stick little arms. Because what's fun about a scarecrow that doesn't have, I mean a scarecrow, snowman that doesn't have arms, right? How's he gonna come to life? What will he use to pick up? Now, you can see the shape is, oh my gosh, I just realized it's not even in the picture, guys. This is why I'm gonna have to work on this. So, let me see. Let's see if that came up for you. Okay, so you can see there the snowman now. So I'm not done with the snowman. I do, as I've told you guys before, like to pretty much outline everything. I think it gives a stronger image. So I'm going to just do some quick little highlighting to give some of this definition to our snowman, which already I'm loving. I'm liking it a lot more. It's kind of like being breathed life into it. And I'm going to put just a tiny bit down here. Okay. Now I think that's good. I am going to go ahead and do some definition on my trees as well. Notice. Again, I was going to just leave them, but I can tell that I don't like just the blobby texture. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm outlining these so that you can kind of get the idea that they are trees. And you don't have to do a lot. Okay. So you can see how that kind of helped that pop. Now I'm also going to go ahead through here so that I'm making a different look between the trees and the snowman and the snow line. And I already love that 10 times better. So we're going to do the same. I'm going to go ahead here and do the rest of my little branches. That one kind of got out of my way. Go, that one. So we'll keep moving over to the left. It's always good to start on the left side so that if you're right-handed, so you don't mush it in there. And I don't know if you can tell this, guys, but the green is still showing a little bit of red. So I am going to have to go back over that. And I see that our time is just about up. We can keep going if you want to finish it. I do have people coming over. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to show you how I am going to make the lettering stand out. So let's make sure. So I've already put the lettering in with my black. Let's see. I'm going to do just a little bit there because I thought it was a little bit too much. So just on this A. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my white Posco pen. So let's get it out here. Here is the white one. This is a thick tip. Okay. Just like anything else. This one is... So when you're using Posco pens, you've got to go ahead and get those. Okay. This one, is empty, and I don't have another. Well, let's see, I might have this one. Okay, so this one is open. So I am just going to go through and add just some of these, again, what I call highlights, just to make the letters pop a little more. Now, again, I could outline the whole thing. I'm just doing here and there. If I get done and I don't like it, then guess what? We just do something else. And I'm having a little bit more of a harder time because this is upside down, but I don't want to put my hand in that wet paint down there. And see, it just kind of tricks your eye. So now it doesn't feel like it has to be perfect. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So we have 4 minutes. I'm going to keep working until the end. So I'm just going to continue with that, doing the outlining on my around my trees. I'm going to do another coat here. Okay. And then I will do some texture lining on the outside. So what I'll do is when I get this finished, I will go ahead and I will take some photos and post it underneath so y'all can see the finished product. Let's see if we can't get this to show very well. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to take my phone off the stand so I can give you guys a better look at what we're doing. So I lost my train of thought. Okay, so here is the semi-finished piece that we will be finishing up. And again, I will put a photo in the chat. Meanwhile, y'all, coming back to you, let me see you. So again, I want to say thank you. This is a fun project to do. If it's something that you're interested in, definitely go to my website, www.passport-creative.com, and get on my email list, because as products become available, I'll be sending them out. So typically I don't make these and sell them, but if you're one of those people that just wants it made for you and you want it to have a handmade look rather than a perfect made from China look, give me a shout through my email and I will be able to get that put together to you. But primarily when I do these as kits, it's going to give you, you're going to have the wooden tray. It's going to be pre-traced with whichever design you choose. I have 3 different ones, and you're going to, again, get all of the supplies. You're going to have brushes, you're going to have a rag, you're going to have a tablecloth, you're going to have everything that you need to make your own Santa treat tray. So thanks for joining, and I will see you again next week. Keep creating.